You're listening to Nice-ish, a podcast about reality TV and your opinions, with your hosts, Cindy and Grace.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to episode 21 of Nice-ish. I'm Grace, and I'm here with my co-host, my mom, Cindy. We just literally got done with the longest Dodger game ever. It was like 4 hours.
Yeah.
And we are literally recording now. It's, 12:30 at night?
Yes. We thought, okay, the game starts at 8. We'll have time to do it tonight.
Yeah.
Because we're going to record after Potomac. So we kind of wanted to get everything done. And this game took forever.
Just waiting and waiting and waiting. No,
but we won.
Yes. It was worth it.
It was definitely worth it. Yes.
So that was good. So how are you?
I'm on a high right now.
Mm-hmm.
Might not last. But I'm feeling good. And my arm is feeling pretty good. I got a tattoo this weekend.
Yeah, your first one.
My first one. It's not something I've really ever wanted. It's not like I was like, oh, I can't wait to get a tattoo. But I decided coming up on October 8th is the 3rd anniversary of the death of one of my brothers. And so I thought it would kind of be a sweet tribute to get a tattoo in his honor. We drove up, met my other brother, his girlfriend, and the two of us got tattoos. And you were there to hold my hand.
Yeah, you're squeezing it enough. Holy shit. I was going to need a new hand.
Yeah, I think it was mostly fear.
Yeah.
I mean, it was uncomfortable, and there were definitely parts that hurt more than other parts, but I got it on my wrist. I think it's really sweet. It says initial, and then it kind of leads into a cute little heart. And so I might take a picture of it and post it later, but I'm
feeling cute. Might post later.
Yeah. So it was a little emotional, but I'm glad I did it. I don't think I'll get another one. I had the guy put so much numbing cream on me that, I hope it helped. I don't really know because I've never had one without it.
Right.
But if it didn't help, I could do it again. If it did help, there's no way I could do it without it.
No, I mean, the way that you were squeezing my hand would imply that you needed it.
He was very gentle, though.
Yeah, he was very nice.
So anyway, that's my news. But other than that,
we got a lot to cover. And
we
get
have
through.
a ton to cover. So let's just say go Dodgers and move on.
Let's start with RHONY. They had their season premiere. It was Tuesday. Mm-hmm. It was the season premiere of season 15. And the cast returned with Erin, Brynn, Jessel, Sai, Uba, and Jenna. So everybody was back from last season. And then we have a newbie, Raquel, and then a friend of the fashion designer, Rebecca Minkoff.
Right.
So the episode starts off with Brynn in her new apartment that she's sharing with her brother for a couple months until she can convince him to stay in New York City permanently.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
I think it'd be nice for her to have somebody there too.
Family.
Yeah. So I'm wondering what your thoughts are on Brynn just in general, because I think that Brynn overall is a fairly sweet person, but the sexy kind of, facade gets a little bit old quickly.
It does for me as well. I feel like it's kind of a role she's playing.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's because... See, I see a lot of stuff on social media where it's like she just loves the attention and this and that. But I think it goes a lot deeper than that. She seems to be someone who needs a lot of validation through love. Mm-hmm. And she had a horrible childhood. Her grandmother raised her. And I think her way of receiving love is flirting and very sexy talk and all that kind of stuff. And I don't think it works.
Yeah, I don't either. You had actually tweeted out, I like Brynn, but the sexy shtick wears thin. And we got a response back from @Megan_Sletcha that said it feels like the sexy shtick is an armor she wears to hide something she seems to carry inside about herself that she hasn't either allowed herself to or learned to let go of and still feel enough. It seems like she's really sensitive inside and it's a way to hide insecurities, which is kind of what you were just saying there a little bit.
Yeah, I think we both kind of feel that way, but it can get annoying when you're flirting with someone's partner.
Yes,
You
that's
know,
kind
I
of
mean,
my problem.
Erin had a huge issue with it, literally at her anniversary party. And Brynn is saying, you know, if you ever get divorced to her husband,
Right.
look me up or whatever. I forgot what, but no.
Right.
You know, wrong time, wrong place, wrong everything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of annoying. I don't know. I can't figure her out.
I can't either because on the one side we saw last season, she said that she was really like into reading and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And
chess.
And chess. All those things those qualities. I'm like, wow, really? You there's a lot more to you
Yes.
than just this shtick that you're putting on. So it's like, I wish she would just kind of let that go and just, you know, accept
Show
the
her
other
true self.
Yes, exactly, because we can kind of all see it. It's kind of a bit like we're tired of seeing. I'm tired of seeing it already.
Yeah,
and it's been one season and like this one episode, and
Right,
I'm like,
half a minute.
Right. So after we saw Brynn at her apartment, there was a really funny clip with Jessel and her husband, and like that she hadn't been on the subway and stuff like that. I think in this cast, this new RHONY cast, Jessel is kind of the star for me.
Mm-hmm.
I think that she's the most real on camera. I think that if you met her in real life, that's probably like what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed seeing her again. She's the reason why I am continuing to watch.
Yeah, she's super pretentious, but
Yeah.
I think that's literally who she is.
Yeah.
Like those are the things she cares about. That's, you know.
Right.
So
Very,
I don't
like-
find her to have a shtick.
No, I don't either.
She
Like, that's
is
who you are.
exactly what you're watching.
Yes.
I think that's one of the reasons why I like her. Or even if I don't necessarily like what she's saying, she's still coming off as authentic to me because I think that's how she would talk to her husband.
Yeah.
If there weren't cameras there, that's how she would talk to all her friends. Her saying that she uses the mommy brain to get out of messy stuff that she starts, I thought was real.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree. She's probably my favorite.
It's the pretentiousness of like a Heather Dubrow. Like, I guarantee you that that's how Heather is in real life. And I would believe that this is how Jessel is as well.
Yeah, same.
So then we move to a segment with Sai. And what caught my interest specifically about this was that Sai said that not a lot of people get to see themselves on TV. And after last season, she's been seeing a therapist, which is something that she had never done before.
Yeah.
Which is kind of shocking to me after all of the stuff in her life that she's had to go through that she's never
seen one. Yeah.
So you had tweeted out, I didn't like Sai last season, but clearly she didn't either. I don't see anything wrong with saying to yourself, what I saw wasn't pretty and I want to work on it. And we got a response back from, again, @Megan_Sletcha, who was just killing it with the, opinions.
Superstar.
Uh-huh. And she said, yes, I like that she didn't double down on the snark and actually worked on herself. She did throw it all away in that fight with Brynn, but learning takes time.
Yes, it does. I mean, hey, we're going to have setbacks.
So what do you think about this tweet and just in general to somebody who would probably be like, oh, well, you saw yourself and now you're changing for the cameras and you're kind of changing who you are?
I don't think you ever can change who you are. I think you can start out pretending and eventually it gets back to who you are. And that's what happened with Sai. I don't think she's pretending. I do think she probably got a lot of hate too. I was kind of over it, but I will say once I watched the reunion and saw her relationship with her mother and all of that go down and how she talked about it, I thought, okay, I'm going to start over with her. I might not like her again, and that's fine.
Right.
But I'm going to start fresh this next season with her and see if I still feel that way. So I didn't mind her.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, she's not my favorite, but she's not the worst either, so.
That's a win to be
yeah,
right
I guess
in the middle.
it is. I'm trying to think of who my worst would be, and, you know.
I don't know. We can let the season go and we can come back to that.
Yeah.
We can put a pin in it and we can figure out who the worst is
Sure.
in a little bit. So the argument of the episode and what's kind of going to probably be a running theme through this entire season is a fight between Brynn and then Erin, Sai, and Jenna.
Yes.
And it's kind of just a really terrible game of telephone and misunderstandings that get blown just out of proportion. There is nothing that I hate more than not getting this on camera. We're back to this, and it's just like this was my issue last season too. Like we had stuff that, you know.
Yeah, they started like middle season because they cut out a girl. So
yeah.
Yes. I agree.
So
I hate it. It could possibly be my biggest pet peeve of Housewives is when there is something that has happened off camera and we literally have to just go off she said.
Right. Someone's word. It's like, I don't trust any of you bitches.
Exactly.
How am I supposed to decide who is telling the truth here?
Right. So we pick our favorites,
right,
but I will say I'm leaning in a direction here.
Okay. Well, let's break down this fight then.
Okay.
So apparently when leaving Erin's Hamptons home, Jenna's car broke down and she didn't, I guess, have the money at the time to get back to her place. So Erin paid for her Uber, which ended up being around $250, which damn.
Oof.
Ouch. And then Erin said that Jenna never paid her back. So Erin tells the story to Brynn, and Brynn's takeaway is that Erin called Jenna poor. I know. Oh my God. Poor. The word poor. It's a running theme that calling somebody poor is just very frowned upon, you know.
In Housewives.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Mary Cosby. We just saw that this season, literally.
I didn't say I was poor.
Who said that? And then Ramona. Singer.
I didn't grow up poor. Call me what I am.
Yeah. So yeah, it is a running theme that they do not like to be called poor. Like apparently that is the worst thing you can be called. Screech.
Fire her.
Yes. So you had tweeted, so as far as the game of telephone with Erin and Brynn, it really just sounds like what Erin said. She embellished the story about Jenna to be funny, but she was pissed about paying for her Uber. Yes or no? And you got a tweet from @tjelly888, who I think perfectly describes this, which is, I feel like Erin is really good at downplaying things and Brynn is really good at playing things up. And neither of them wants to be called out for it, even though both of those things can be hurtful and problematic. So I think that this is just perfectly well said. I think that Erin probably has a tendency to say a little bit more than she lets on. She definitely probably talks up, and I would imagine that she was annoyed. She probably said something along the lines of, geez, is she having money problems? Because why would she not pay me back?
Right. Yes.
I bet you it was something along the lines of that. And then Brynn took that and completely revved it up and just made it sound like Erin was talking about her in some nasty way.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw in her confessional, Erin's smart. She literally knows. Why would I call her poor?
Right.
I know she's not poor.
She has 2 homes.
Yeah, like, come on.
I think it was meant as a joke. And Brynn, she's done this a lot, though.
That's the problem.
Yeah, I think Brynn has a reputation for really embellishing things and exaggerating. And I mean, I think last season it was with that stupid cheese platter.
Ugh.
And I think she said someone didn't want cheese or someone complained about the cheese, but then that person ate the cheese.
Yeah.
So it was so stupid.
It was really dumb.
But she kind of takes things and runs with it. And I don't know. Especially since we don't hear it and we don't know because it's not on camera.
Yeah.
How am I done with it already? It's been 1 episode. God.
I know. No, that's kind of how I feel. That's why I would kind of give this premiere probably, if I was giving it a rating, I would probably give it like a C. Yeah. I don't know how you felt about it.
I'd probably give it a little higher, maybe a B-. I did think that Brynn's party went well as far as seeing a little bit of drama, seeing them all talk it out. Uba wasn't even there. She showed up so late that Brynn had already left. Brynn was almost in tears.
Yeah.
Like, she looked completely hurt. But I don't know. You can't keep opening your mouth about stuff. And you literally said in one of your confessionals, unless it's from the trailer and we haven't seen it yet,
it is,
that you got carpal tunnel from stirring the pot.
Right.
So, it's going to come back at you.
You either got to wear the badge of honor.
Yes.
And be the pot stirrer and just do it. Or you just shut up.
There's no crying in Housewives.
Nope. You got to be tougher than that.
Yeah.
Especially when everything comes back to you. You seem to be the common problem. Like, Erin's like, well, Jenna, where'd you hear that from? This one sitting next to me.
Yeah.
It was her. She's the one that told me. It's like, you got to keep it tight.
Yeah, I agree. She's sloppy.
She'll learn.
All right, let's get into this week's episode of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. The women go to Milwaukee because Whitney was invited to host a drag show. And it's actually kind of a fun episode. We get to see Fun Mary.
I know. I actually like this Mary.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see her just loosen up a little bit.
Yeah, we have glimpses of a lighter, brighter Mary. So, 1 minute she's calling you a horrible mother, and the next minute she's dancing in the stands at a Milwaukee Bucks game.
Woohoo!
Perfect housewife.
Yeah, I was going to say, yes, it's perfect.
So Whitney tells them all that they're going to this Milwaukee Bucks game, which is the NBA. Mm-hmm. And at the game, Angie and Bronwyn are talking together, and Angie tells her that her brow girl, she's got her own brow girl. Mm-hmm. That's rich. That's money. She has her own brow girl, and she's been communicating with newbie Brittany's on again, off again, currently on again boyfriend Jared. So Angie shows Bronwyn texts from brow girl in which Jared is flirting with her via Instagram DMs and asking her to call him. Is this a surprise?
Well, we keep saying on again, off again. I feel like it's just off, like, all the time. Like, I don't think that it's really ever on.
So Angie and Bronwyn decide that it would be best to tell Brittany and let her know that he's DMing Brow Girl.
We don't know her name, so we call her Brow Girl.
And they tell her, and it's actually kind of hard to watch a little bit. Brittany's clearly shocked and sad and goes to the bathroom with Meredith and just, like, lets out a good cry.
Which, I'll be honest, maybe I'm a little
it's not
rougher about the situation, but I'm more of like, I think it's sad in a different type of way, maybe.
I'm hearing you.
I think it's kind of like, are you for real? What do you expect?
Yeah.
Like, this is it literally happens over and over and over again, and you do nothing about it, and you keep trying to lock him down, and you can't. Or, I don't know. It just seems very, like, repetitive, and at what point do you stop feeling bad for somebody that makes the wrong decision every time?
Yeah. Well, would you like to hear Jared's side?
Always.
Okay. Because right before this episode aired, some DMs leaked on social media from Jared talking to someone about his relationship. Some random...
Brow girl?
Oh my God, could it be Brow girl? You know what? She's involved in everything.
I'm wondering. I don't know. If it's a somebody, I'll just put her
if
in
it's
place.
just some random, why would he spill his guts like this? Because this is long.
I don't know. It makes me think I should have done it first. I would have asked.
Oh my God. You
Hey,
stink.
what's going on? I just want to know what's going on.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't want, believe me, I don't want anything to do with this guy. I just want to know what's going on.
So these DMs are kind of brutal. I had tweeted them out and we got a couple of replies about them, but bear with me here because I'm going to read them. They're a tiny bit long, but we're going to talk about them.
Important. To quote Dorinda Medley. For the most uncomfortable. You know what? It's not more uncomfortable than that episode. So, you know.
Okay.
Just get through it.
So he starts off saying, and I realize I am oversharing a little bit. The fascinating part of Brittany's story is that she adds so much drama for no reason, truly in an attempt to be relevant. Like, come on, dude. Jeez. If you want, and you can stop me at any time to,
add my own commentary. Okay.
If you want to know the truth on our history, I have never walked away from her. I've never broken up with her. What? Like, wait, what? She's broken up with him 16 times. He's never broken up with her?
Well, this is what I mean when she says on again, off again. I don't think they were ever on.
Oh.
I think that it's literally never been.
Maybe they just go days without talking, but she considers that a breakup?
Probably.
Oof.
I think it's, I don't know.
Okay. I've always been steady, spoiled her over the last year, paid for everything. Oh, that sounds like someone I know.
Oh, God, paid for everything.
Shannon! Sorry. Paid for everything and have been a true gentleman. Well, he's not being a gentleman here, I must say, spilling his guts to some rando, but, whatever.
No, it's not a rando. It's Brow Girl.
A Brow Girl. Damn
I'm
it.
going to keep that alive. I'm just going to say that.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know that, and it probably isn't, but I'm going to perpetuate it.
We never claim to be factual. It's your fault if you believe us. She is so damaged from her past relationships that she makes me out to be the bad guy.
Is her past relationship just all you? Or like 16 times?
Well, I don't think her daughters are his. So she's had at least one marriage. Okay. But actually, did she say she was married twice?
I don't know.
I don't remember now.
It was on again, off again.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, we don't know the facts here, people. Just bear with us. She's scared that I won't put a ring on her finger and I just want to play. So rather than just steadily stay with me and work through all of our dating issues that pop up, she runs like a scared child. I need to date a stable woman.
Damn.
Well, he doesn't sound all that stable either.
I know. The fact that you would just write all this and we're not done yet.
No, we're not done yet. It gets worse.
Yeah.
Wait for it. For the record, Brittany has a job on the show because I decided to go on. That's what he says. Literally, like, they wouldn't want her if I didn't decide to let her be seen with me or let her talk about me because I'm an Osmond.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're not Donnie.
I know.
You're Jared.
Who are you?
Yeah. Like, the nerve.
I know. Like, you're not in the inner circle of the Osmonds. You're on the outer circle.
Like, I both thought they were kind of nutters, but now I'm like, she's a nutter and you're like a cruel nutter.
A cruel nutter?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's not cool, man.
It's just an interesting description.
I give her relevance. Okay, I shouldn't have stopped at the end of the other one. He then goes on to say, I give her relevance. I give her a talking point. Who does this sound like? I give her relevance. Sounds like Mariah from Married to Medicine. We had just finished that season where everybody, even her cousin, came out of the woodwork saying Mariah said that I made them relevant. So as soon as I read that, I was like, oh, so Married to Medicine.
I know. We've had a couple of, direct quotes, I feel like, from Housewives and Bravo shows here. Maybe he's a Bravo fan.
Oh.
He's pulling from different shows
here.
Yeah,
he is. That's shady. That's messy boots. So after he says, I give her a talking point, he says, she promised me that we wouldn't take our love on camera, that it would be best friends. Hence the reason for all the best friend comments. I went against my better judgment, and I filmed with her thinking that she would hold to that. She did not, obviously. I've stepped up to give her all that she has needed to make herself relevant on the show, and what I got in return was a woman that dumped me and makes me look like a complete idiot by the time this is all done. Also evidenced by some of her TikToks, not a happy camper.
Yeah, he doesn't sound like a happy camper.
This whole relationship is so toxic.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
I don't know why they're together at all. It is interesting that he brought up the fact that we said that we were going to be best friends. That's how that they were going to go about it. Was that relayed to her? Because I don't know if the message was clearly stated that.
Well, is that what the Costco thing was?
Yes, that's what he means. Is like that's why I said all of the best friends. That's why I referred to her as that, because that's what we said we were going to do.
None of it makes sense. They just don't connect. Either story connect. Like she's on one side, he's on the other, and it's not meshing. So I'm not quite sure who to believe, because I don't believe her.
No,
she's not reliable.
No,
but then he just sounds like a total jackass with this whole "I made you relevant" shit.
Right.
So he's just condescending, but I don't know. I don't know how to put this together.
Well, what do you do when you don't believe either person? That's the problem.
You believe Mary.
Yeah, you believe Mary. There you go.
And then her daughters don't speak to her either.
Well, that's
throw that in there.
Red flag to me there.
Yeah.
Why? Why is that? Because something must have happened to seriously fracture your relationship, and I would assume that it has to do with Jared.
I don't know. Jared says he's never walked away, never.
Well, that's weird too. How does somebody say we've broken up like 16 times and the other person's like,
it's never happened.
Yeah, it never happened. Like, that is a huge discrepancy.
Yeah. Yeah. Huge. I don't know. I'm actually interested in this whole thing.
Yeah, I know.
I want to see how it plays out. I want to know, because this is filmed at least 5 months ago, 6 months ago. So we know right now that they're not together. I want to see how it plays out and how it gets to this point.
I know. I would like them to film the reunion soon, so that way we have some answers here. Because I know that she's just kind of a friend of, but she's racking up a lot of questions here.
Yeah, well, the reunion's not going to be filmed for a while.
Yeah, no, I know. They haven't even done OC. They're going to do that soon, but they haven't done that.
Yeah. So after all that, I had tweeted those out, and we got a reply from I Made It Nice 24, who said,
I made it nice.
Yeah.
Somebody...
Shout out to Dorinda.
Yeah.
And they said, this made him look worse. Quote, I gave her relevance? That was narcissistic as fuck. Not letting her discuss their love is weird. Dude, just shut up and let it play out. You didn't help your case here, bud. So what do you think about the tweet?
Yeah, I don't think that it ever really pays off for a person who's not on the show to talk about the relationship with the person who is.
Particularly.
Men, yes, because it just never really goes the way that you want, especially when it's something as long and as I gave her relevance goes. It's really not going to make anybody side with you.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. I think men are not part of the show. They don't get paid. I know that they want to, in some instances, fight back, reply back, because it's about them. They're getting, shit on, whatever. But it just never looks good when a man comes for a woman that way.
No.
It never pays off.
No, it doesn't. And honestly, though, watching the show, Brittany looks really weird. I'll call her a nutter, like you said.
Yeah.
Like, to hear her story, I think actually most people, before he said anything, most people would have sided with him.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, if you just kept your mouth shut and we just watched this played out, I would be like, well, geez, no wonder why, like, he keeps, why it's so on and off again.
Yeah,
like,
because she's a little out there.
Yeah, because she's a little out there. But now when you open your mouth and you talk about her that way, now it's like, oh, okay, well, you're unstable too, buddy.
And I'm sorry, but using the name Osmond, Donnie and Marie are the reason why the Osmonds were put on the map. Mm-hmm. And then their brothers who were in that whole group and all that kind of stuff. You are not. We don't know who you are. Mm-hmm. So for you to say that you give her relevance, like, dude, who the fuck are you?
Right, I know. Like, there are other people that have the last name Osmond, too, who aren't related to them, and that's how I feel about you, even though you are. I think that there's somebody else in America with the last name Osmond.
I don't know.
I just mean, though, that it's like nobody knows who you are. The only Osmonds that matter are, yes, Donnie and Marie. That is it. And you're not either of those two. So,
yeah,
off to the basement you go.
Okay, let's move on to another subject. Then we have Meredith, who is talking to Heather about Whitney's jewelry line. Prism, I guess, is the name of it. Mm-hmm. And she had said, people. I don't know who the people are.
People is Meredith.
But oh, God. Possibly. I don't know. She didn't specify, but
right.
People are saying that Whitney is not only buying her jewelry from Alibaba, which is like this wholesale online marketplace that kind of sells. Their reputation seems to be cheaply made stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of a lot like Shein a bit, where it's like that fast fashion, that type of deal. Like it's made quickly and just in like bulk, so you can sell stuff.
Well, she says that not only is she buying her jewelry from Alibaba, but she's also using their photos. And so, and Heather, of course,
right,
the gasp. And I had tweeted out, this Alibaba scandal sounds a lot like She by Sheree Shein stuff.
Yeah.
And you had said something interesting to me when we were watching about the photo thing.
Yeah, I follow a boutique on Instagram and they talk a lot. I see it all the time where it was like, well, Shein stole another photo of ours, or somebody on Amazon stole another photo of ours, and just know that you're not buying from us. This person just took the photo. And so if you want to buy from us, buy directly from our website because we can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's kind of what's happening here a little bit. Is I don't think that Whitney took from Alibaba. I think it's actually the opposite.
Could be.
Because usually people on Alibaba, since it is cheaply made, you want to take your photos from something that doesn't look cheap.
Right.
So you want to make it seem like you're not getting garbage.
So the photo that they showed on the episode and kind of matched it up next to the photo on the Alibaba website, we don't know whose original photo that is. It could have been Whitney's and then they took it.
Yeah. I think that's very possible.
Yeah, I don't know why anybody would want to do it the other way around. I would think she would stage her jewelry and
well, yeah, that's what I think too. And honestly, Meredith, the photo thing doesn't really prove anything to me. Why you didn't place an order from Alibaba and then compare the two, that would have been more of like a case here But you're just saying about the photo thing is kind of a nothing for me.
Well, is it too late to do this?
Oh, I don't know. We should look for the listing and see
Although,
if it's
how
up.
much is Whitney's jewelry? Because I'm not much of a jewelry person, so I'm not gonna spend a shit ton on.
Well, buy it and then return it.
That's. Who do you think I am, Maylee?
Oh my god.
Oh, we haven't gotten there yet.
You're gonna get blacklisted from Prism.
We haven't gotten to that point yet.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, that would have been really funny. Oh my God, had Meredith thought to do that?
Right, I don't know why she didn't. That would be the first thing I would do. Somebody do it. If somebody can find the listing, somebody buy something from Whitney and then buy the same thing from Alibaba and see if it matches up and if it's the same quality or not.
Yes. Meredith, we're talking about you.
Yeah, Meredith, please do it. You have time before the reunion. Bring both.
Oh my God. You need to DM Meredith. I talk about not being messy. You need to DM Meredith and be like, this is what you need to do.
Yeah. Get on it. Like, just like Angie brought the scroll and made you look like an idiot. And then you need to do this at the reunion. You need to have both necklaces.
Receipts, baby.
Yep.
I'm into it. All right, let's move on.
Okay.
So, while the show was airing, Lisa Barlow was clearly watching along with the rest of us because she had tweeted, then deleted a tweet about her disagreement with Bronwyn.
Okay.
And on the episode, to set it up here, Bronwyn, Heather, and Lisa went on a Wendy's run to go get food. Mm-hmm. And they were kind of talking shit about all the women. And Bronwyn talked about Whitney's meltdown at Lisa's Bezos dinner, which she told Whitney to her face, though. She talked smack in the car, but then we saw another clip where she literally almost word for word told Whitney that she looked like she was practicing that in a mirror. Mm-hmm. So she told her.
Yeah.
But the other girls didn't know that. So that was kind of in Heather's pocket.
Right.
To take out later. And that kind of backfired. Because Whitney actually seemed to take Bronwyn's side on all that.
It kind of seemed like it. It seemed like Whitney wasn't really that fazed by it. Maybe because she's kind of like, I know what you guys are doing here.
Yeah.
You're kind of making it seem like, you know.
Yeah.
She was talking shit about me. Well, she told me, so I don't know.
She was, but she told me.
Right. Exactly.
Well, Lisa also started talking shit about the newbie Maylee and said that she had heard there was talk of her getting blacklisted from Nordstrom's because of too many returns. Now, this seemed to offend Bronwyn even more.
Yeah, I don't. Then that's what was so funny. Is she was like, Bronwyn set it up before we heard what Lisa said. She goes, "Oh my God!" And Lisa just said like the worst thing about Maylee, and I thought, "Oh my God, what? What happened?" And then she said that. I was like, "Oh my God!"
I know, that was perfect. Yeah. So, Bronwyn, her whole point here is that she feels like she's the only one getting shit for all this when all of them said stuff in the car.
Yeah.
And nobody's coming forward on any of it. So Bronwyn said she's starting to see cracks in their friendship. And if Lisa doesn't come through, this is going to crack wide open.
Well, all you had to do was just stick together, the three of you. That's all you had to do. Is just be like, oh, Lisa, was that what I said bad? No, it was fine. We were all just, chatting about what happened at the dinner. Nothing else. Done. Okay, great. But now...
Well, then Lisa would have to go against Heather. And her and Heather have just repaired their friendship.
Yeah.
But it's hard when there's a triple.
Right. Well, let Heather go. I'm on Bronwyn's side here.
Yeah, I know.
I'm Team Bronwyn right now. So.
Well, this all leads to a tweet that Lisa posted and then deleted very quickly after. I just happened to see it, where she says, "Bronwyn, so excited to bring me into this." Ooh.
Well, I don't know about the word excited. I just think that you didn't do anything for her. You didn't help her in any way. As a matter of fact, you kind of made it worse for her. And so she's like, okay, bitch, guess what?
Right.
You were there too, and I'm going to say what you said in the car then. If you're not going to validate what happened, really, because I already told Whitney about it, and you're going to keep, making this worse, then I'll just say what you said, and then we're all good.
She actually really didn't back her up because Bronwyn's like, you didn't stand up for me. And Lisa said, like, well, I understand the way you talk.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of defense is that? I
know, the way you talk, I was talking the same way the two of you were talking.
Yeah.
So the tone was not just me bashing, the other women. You two were there as well and doing the same exact thing.
Well, the fact that she deleted it was interesting. So do you think at this point that the crack got wider in this friendship?
Probably. They always do when you have friends on a show like this.
It's kind of amazing, isn't it? How you can be friends with someone for 9 years and you come on a show and in less than one season, you're like mortal enemies.
Well, it's probably because you don't know what people say about you normally.
Yes.
And then with this, it's like, oh, wow, is this really
It's like
how
a
you
superpower. You get asked what you want your superpower to be. And could you be invisible? Could you fly? You don't want to be invisible. You don't want to hear what people really, truly think about you.
Right.
We would all be very broken.
God, they'll be broken. Exactly. No, I don't know, though. I just, I think that it's going to happen. You're going to have cracks. I mean, literally, Lisa and Meredith. Lisa, that one with her rant about Meredith. Oh, I cannot believe Meredith has gotten over that.
She had to.
I know.
Unfortunately. I know. In real life, there's no coming back from that.
That's why I will just get my little Monica throw in here. This is why if Meredith could get past that thing with Lisa, they should be able to get past this with Monica. This is stupid.
Oh, my God. She called her the whore of New York City or something.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it was bad. And then she went after her husband. Oh, let's not bring all this back up again. I think they're really good now.
I was just saying, though, if Meredith can do that, then you all need to film with Monica.
Yes. If she can move on, we all need to move on.
But I like Bronwyn, though. I think that she's a good addition,
do too.
Though.
All right. So in next week's sneak peek, Lisa and Angie get into a fight. And it's kind of looks pretty big.
Yeah.
And Lisa yells to Angie, "You just changed our relationship." So based off Watch What Happens Live appearances and Twitter wars that have been going on right now, it's definitely changed.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they're speaking anymore.
On Twitter, they're speaking.
Angrily speaking. Right. Yes. It's changed. And what do you think she's yelling about? What did Angie do?
I think it's the stuff with Whitney, but I'm not sure.
We shall see.
Let's talk about this week's episode of Real Housewives of Orange County. It was another great episode. A lot happened. It began with the end of Katie's dinner party with Jen, Emily, and Tamra and their partners and spouses. We kind of talked a lot about this, though, on our last episode.
Right.
We even talked about this part in particular because it was the sneak peek for next week.
Right.
For this week, I mean. So we already talked about that. So if you're interested in that, you can go back and listen to that part. So we are going to start with Shannon's 60th birthday tea party.
Yeah.
So she invited all the women, except for Alexis, obviously, for tea. And one of the funniest comments, if you didn't catch it, but when Shannon was opening a gift that Heather gave her, they were these Hermes sandals, and Shannon was like, "Oh, thank you so much, I love them." And Emily says she loves Ferragamo too. Like, my God. And this was, of course, the throwback to Shannon talking about the Ferragamo shoes that she bought Johnny J, who continues, or John Jansen at the time.
John Jansen.
Yes, Johnny J is the new incarnation.
That's Alexis's man,
yes.
Johnny J.
John Jansen, yes. Who continues to wear them, and he gets photographed in them on red carpets with Alexis.
I know, the clown.
I don't know, though. I have said it before, so have you, but I am enjoying Emily this season. I really like her. I think she's really funny.
I do too. She's so snarky. You know, I've been seeing a lot on social media about her complaining about Heather and the whole weight thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think while I completely understand Emily's point of view, it was just lasted way too long. It's been like 3 episodes now, maybe 4.
Mm-hmm.
So I think everybody's kind of losing patience because while we understand that she was sensitive about it, it's just like way too much.
Yeah, I think so too. I get it. It's hard because I understand where she's coming from. It's just in the TV show sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh my God, this lasted 3 episodes. Like, these are usually those like quick little arguments that you get through. Like, they kind of last for,
Right.
like by episode 3, it should be done.
Right.
So I get it, I guess, a little bit, but I don't know. I'm more sympathetic, I guess, towards Emily. Like, I wouldn't write, oh my God, I'm so sick of this.
No, I agree. I'm just like, this should have been wrapped up a long time ago.
Well, you know what?
We don't want to keep seeing
it would have been if Alexis didn't open her mouth and make it about her.
Point
then
made.
It actually would have. So
And I think that was Emily's point too.
right, it would have been. Yeah, it was.
So there's another thing we can blame on
I
Alexis.
was just gonna say yes. No, another strike against Alexis. So Shannon has gifts for everyone there, and when they all open them, it's an invite for a cast trip to London. All the women are excited, and while they're talking, Shannon gets this large, like, floral arrangement, and everybody's looking like, oh my God, who gave you that? And she reads the card, and it's from Alexis. And I know that people are hating on Tamara right now. I get it, but the look on her face with the literal mouth drop was so funny.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I thought, oh my God, that's the perfect gift. Literally jaw drop.
Yes.
But
So in the flower arrangement that Alexis sent Shannon, there was a actual olive branch.
yes.
And as you can imagine, Shannon had zero interest in accepting the olive branch or being friends with Alexis or inviting Alexis on the cast trip.
3 strikes. You're out.
So you had tweeted out, sorry, but on what planet would a woman want to be friends with their ex's new girlfriend? So you got a response from @ICAN with a K, Reed, who said, who is suing her? I mean, beyond bonkers to think that she should be invited. Right?
Yeah.
No, I mean, you can't extend an olive branch days after you file a lawsuit. How is Alexis missing this point?
I'm a bit stunned as well. I don't understand how Alexis is completely missing the point. She is involved in this lawsuit with John, or if she's not, she's talking about it a whole lot.
Right.
And Shannon's not interested. I wouldn't be interested.
No,
I don't want to
get it.
travel with my ex's new girlfriend who's already thrown it in my face multiple times.
That and the big thing is the lawsuit
Yeah.
for me. That's kind of pretty big.
Yeah.
The best part of this episode, though, for me, might have been the end where Jen and Katie go over to Alexis's house and they're kind of just want to soften the blow that Shannon refused the peace offering and that she's not invited to London with the rest of the women.
Yeah. I like this part too.
So Alexis asks the women if her flowers worked with Shannon. Again, like she thought that was going to, like, oh my God, did it work?
I'll get this big fucking arrangement and send it, and she'll be like, oh, buddy.
Right. And the women let her know they did not work, and to check Alexis's phone because Shannon should have sent her a text, and Alexis did have a text from Shannon, and she reads it out loud, which says, hello, Alexis. It's Shannon Bedore. I am hosting a trip to Europe with my friends and just want to make it clear that you are not invited. Just make it clear. That should be quite understandable given the circumstances. Thank you for the flowers, but I am not interested in any olive branch. Boom.
I mean, that is clear.
I was just going to say,
concise.
if you were going to be clear, yes, very clear.
And I actually don't think it's all that mean, to be honest with you.
No, I know. I don't actually think it's mean. I think it's very, concise, straightforward.
And you should understand why.
Yes. And thanks for the flowers.
But she doesn't.
Yeah, she can't. She can't understand. If she can't understand the thing about the dress, like with Emily's fight with Heather, then there's absolutely no way that she's going to understand this.
Agreed.
So after Alexis reads it to Jen and Katie, Alexis looks at Jen, who says, "We did encourage her to soften it."
Jen's been funny.
Jen is funny.
And I don't even think she tries to be funny.
No, she was totally serious. Like, I think she was trying to be comforting here, too. Like, yeah, we told her. We knew that she was going to send it to you, and we really advised her to soften it, and she did not.
No, we were hoping this was a rough draft.
Right. So Alexis just doesn't really seem to understand that Shannon doesn't have to accept anything from her, including her friendship. I wouldn't want it. Would you want it?
No, I would have zero interest. If I were Shannon, I would have zero interest in being friends with Alexis. And that's fine.
Yeah, that is fine.
I mean, she can be in the same room with her or whatever, but they do not have to have a relationship. And Alexis really seems to be forcing that.
Yeah, I know. I think they only have to be together when they're filming. And that's it. And now, let me just say here, though, this is technically a cast trip. Are friends of part of this? Like, can you be like, nope, you're not coming? Because I remember Ramona, who obviously was a housewife, Bethany wanted to cut her off, and she's like, no, it's a cast trip, I'm going.
Right.
Can you technically do that?
I don't think
like, in
friend,
any regard? It doesn't matter.
I mean, you can't with a housewife.
No, I know.
Any housewife could do that and be like, well, it's tough shit, bitch. I'm going, you know?
Right.
But as a friend of, I don't think it's Alexis's call. I think if production wanted her there, they would.
Okay.
But I think at some point, it's just not healthy. I mean.
I don't think Bravo's worried about.
No, that's too bad, isn't it? I mean, I get we all want drama, but I mean, this woman is hanging by a thread. So let them all try to enjoy London. Plus, it's her trip.
Yeah, she's the one that's
Shannon is hosting it. So I think that should matter, too. She doesn't want her there.
In this episode, we also get our first confessional with Alexis and Johnny J.
Jump scare.
I know.
Were you prepared for that?
I was not prepared for it.
No, I was not either.
And he says that the reason he's suing Shannon now is that the statute of limitations was expiring in under a week, and he was running out of time to get his money back.
Yeah.
So he claims that he has proof of Shannon saying in writing that these were loans. Which...
That's pretty damning.
Yeah. Here's the thing, though. You might be Team Shannon completely or whatever, but if she said, yes, I will pay you back, then it's kind of case closed here a little bit.
I feel the same way. It's kind of a done deal. You might have paid for him your whole relationship. You know, it's very possible she did. I don't doubt that she did. But unfortunately, she never said, I want you to pay me back on anything. Whereas I think they were already broken up, kind of on and off at least.
Yeah.
And it doesn't sound like they were boyfriend, girlfriend. They might have still been hooking up. But if he got Shannon to say, I will pay you back, then she's just screwed.
Right.
Whether she's paid more than he had, it really is immaterial at this point.
Yeah, it kind of is, because if it's in writing, then that's a contract. And you said that you would do that. And, you know, he may look like a huge ass, which he does. Yeah. But he's right, though. If you said it, then
it's unfortunate, but I think...
that's actually probably why he didn't sign the NDA. Because he's probably like, well, I have the email saying that she was going to pay me. I don't have to sign the NDA because I already know that she has to pay me.
Yeah. I mean, if it was just about that, then fine. The reason why it bugs me that he wouldn't sign it is because Shannon would also have to sign it. So if she's filming and wants to take a shot at him, she couldn't.
Right, she couldn't, or she would be in very, very big trouble.
She'd be
for doing
violating that.
Yes.
So I don't know what he was so worried about. Stupid Alexis keeps saying, we're not going to put a muzzle on him. Like, it's for both of them, not just him to sign.
Right.
So I still don't understand that, but...
Yeah, I don't get it either. But Alexis finishes reading Shannon's text, and she says the whole thing is just too much, and she's done. Done with everything, the group, all of it. And I think that Jen and Katie thought that she was kind of just venting still at this point.
Nope.
So Alexis gets up and walks to the front door, opens it, and waves Jen and Katie out the door, and then slams it. And they're kind of like...
They're standing outside, like, what just happened?
Right, yeah. So, they look at each other, and they're just like, were we just kicked out? And Alexis seems pissed at us, and we didn't do anything wrong. Then we get a confessional of Jen, which was so funny.
Yes.
You had tweeted out her quote from the episode, which was, I've never been kicked out of anywhere. Oh, wait, I was evicted.
I died.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. That was so funny. She was so... How can you be sweet about an eviction? I don't know. But she's just so fucking sweet, isn't she?
I don't know how. Everything has a happy spin on it.
Even an eviction.
Right.
Ugh. She cracks me up.
Even when she's kind of pissed, she's like, still in like the happy piss type
with her
realm.
And Katie standing outside.
Yeah.
Their talk, she's even there. She's like, did she throw us out? I don't get it. Yeah, it was funny.
I mean, I know Jen, she's like, that's bullshit. But even that's like,
I know.
Very like rainbows and flowers and stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, she's cute.
But next week, though, we'll see them on their way to London. Oh, by the way, please, 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 Bravo and the producers, do not show any more of these women trying to do a British accent.
Oh,
I can't take it.
I will not share mine, but I will say that it is better than Gina's.
I was going to say anybody's could be better than Gina's.
Hers was offensive. Oh, my God. Usually people can kind of get partway there.
Right.
Hers was like, actually, it was another language. I don't know what it was. It wasn't British.
No, and Shannon's, I think she still thinks she's in Scotland from the other trip. They're not the
Ireland.
same. Yes, they're not the same place.
No.
So there's different accents. Yeah, God.
It was rough.
It was really bad.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to London. The clip was really interesting because it would seem that Shannon has a fight with either Tamara or Heather.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell, but it sounded like she threatened to leave.
I was not surprised.
Yeah, I know. That's kind of her thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm excited for it.
No, I'm excited too. The whole thing looked good. It looks like it's going to be a fun trip.
Yeah, it does look fun. Season 9 of Real Housewives of Potomac premiered tonight. We talked about the cast in a previous podcast episode, but everyone returned except for Candace and Robin.
Right.
So we do have 3 newbies, though. 1 new housewife, which is Stacy, and then the 2 newbie friends, which are Jazzy and Jacqueline.
Right.
So the episode begins with this really messy reenactment of Karen's DUI. They even had a deer run through.
Well, I know. I'm like, the deer was not cited in the police report, so I don't know where they thought the deer came in. It was actually a car that she said, but I guess they couldn't put a phantom car in.
Yeah, so we got this deer running across. And then later on, a deer runs in front of the car with Karen in it with Giselle. And
you think that's why they did it, actually? I know. I bet you that's why they did it. That just clicked to me once you said it.
It was so triggering.
Right, yeah. Oh, my God.
So stupid. So Giselle picks Karen up and they decide to go to lunch and talk a little bit about the DUI. And Karen really doesn't say too much, but she does say that the death of both of her parents, she's still grieving, and her marriage with Ray has kind of been a struggle. And so they both kind of contributed to her state of mind that night.
Oh, okay. I mean, listen, this is not even your first one. This is your second one.
Yeah.
So, first of all, everybody is grieving something. Everybody's lost people. Everybody, has struggles that they deal with. And to just say that that's why you did something, it just kind of doesn't really fly for me.
No, me neither. And I love Karen. Again, she's in my top 4, housewives. She's on my Mount Rushmore of housewives. I love her, but I just can't get behind this.
No.
It's just gross. So they talk a little bit about it, not too much, and we move on to another scene where we meet the newbie Stacy. And she's trying on dresses at some boutique with Karen and Karen's friend. I can't remember her name. We literally just watched it like 2 hours ago, but I don't remember her name.
There's too many new people right now. So, let me get to know one person first before you throw 4 people.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm going to go with as to why I don't remember her name.
So Stacy says something. I don't think she meant to be shady, but they were drinking champagne, and she says to Karen, "Are you okay if we drink in front of you?" And Karen's just kind of looking at her, and Stacy's like, "Well, the champagne. Are you okay with us drinking champagne in front of you?" And Karen looks, stunned a little bit.
Right. Like, why would you even think that asking me about alcohol or anything like that would be
an issue? Yeah.
And it's like, well, because this is your second time, so I'm just asking if, you have a problem with it.
And if you don't want us to drink in front of you, we won't.
Yeah.
And Karen's like, no, I'm going to drink too.
At some point. I can't right now, but I will, toward the end of the season.
And then Karen notices that Stacy is not wearing her wedding ring. Mm-hmm. So Stacy tells them that she's been separated for over a year from her husband. So that's news for everybody, and I'm sure it's going to come up later in the season. Right. Because we know she's actually dating someone now, her best friend. Her no-sex best friend.
I was just going to say sort of ish, if you want to call it that.
Yeah. Then we move on to a scene with Mia and Gordon. And while their kids are playing at the park, they start talking about their co-parenting situation. And Gordon doesn't want Mia's new man, Ink, anywhere near their kids. Mm-hmm. Like, Mia said something about taking him for a haircut, and Ink, I think, was going to do it, and Gordon's like, absolutely not.
Right.
I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, especially because there's paternity involved.
Well, that's, I think, really what it is. If that hadn't had happened, I don't think it would have been an issue, but I think it's like, so you're just trying to take my kid for a haircut like he's your kid?
Right.
Or what's
going on here?
Yeah.
So Mia says to Gordon, Ink's not trying to replace you. And in the next scene, Mia says that Ink wants a paternity test.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
So it's like, wait, he doesn't want to replace Gordon, but then he wants a paternity test to replace Gordon.
He literally, that's exactly what he's doing. Honestly, you couldn't have made a worse analogy because that's exactly what he's trying to do. He's literally trying to replace Gordon. Like, completely. So that was just so funny to me. I caught that immediately. Yeah. I was like, Mia, come on.
Come on. I know. But I had tweeted out, give your honest opinion. Thoughts on a paternity test playing out for TV about an 8-year-old. And we got a tweet back from @MarioKiki, who said, I think life happens and I can appreciate Mia's transparency. However, I still don't feel at ease at how this will impact the kids for the sake of the show. Where's the line?
That's what I think too. It's like, I love when housewives can show a little bit of realness about them. But at the same time, I don't need to know everything about you. I'm okay. This part, especially when it affects your actual kids.
Yeah.
And the weirdest part about it, though, too, is that I don't know why Mia is doing this, because I thought she knew that Gordon was the father.
You had said to me, didn't she have IUI?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, yes.
Right.
She talked about it. Her and Gordon went through IUI, which is a fertility treatment. So why is this even a question?
Well, unless Ink snuck in there and, switched the jars, then I don't really know how we're talking
And why
about
is
this.
Gordon even entertaining it then either?
Right, I don't know. This is what's weird about Mia, though, is I feel like she kind of flip-flops on her stories a lot.
Yeah.
Like, just in general.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know if I would call them a lie, or just, like, it just goes, she's very wishy-washy.
Yeah. I don't know. I got to agree with Mario, though. Where is the line here? Because he's only 8. Her son is only 8. And so having this all play out on TV, he's going to see it back.
Right.
And it's like, but that's my dad.
Uh-huh.
So if Mia doesn't definitely know who the father of her kid is, this should never have come up on TV. And if she does, this should never have come up on TV. Because it's just kind of awkward and uncomfortable.
Well, it's very uncomfortable. And this isn't something about your personal life that everybody's like, oh my God, this is so juicy. I cannot wait to see it. This is, everybody's like, oh my God, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Stop. What are you doing?
Pretty much all the comments were like that too.
Like, this isn't enjoyable TV for anybody.
At the expense of your kid.
Yeah.
It's just not. Let's move on to talk about the rest of the episode, because it all pretty much happens at a party that Giselle throws in Karen's honor. And it's called Hattitude. It's this stupid play on having attitude and hats.
And hats. Great description.
And so the thing is they're all like these weirdly small hats. Like, they don't fit anybody.
Well, yeah, it's like she had a designer make hats for everybody, and then she's got these other stupid hats like around the party, like a banana.
And a
or
taco?
Like,
was there a taco?
Yeah, I saw a taco, and then I think I saw the Dumb and Dumber hats too, the 2 top hats, the orange and blue ones.
Yes, and then the construction
hat.
hat.
Yeah, and that too.
Yes, a hard hat. So I gotta say, when Karen first tried on her hat and it didn't fit, I was like, oh, Karen, you must have a really big head.
Right.
But then Ashley and Mia put on theirs, and those didn't fit either.
Well, Mia tried to put on hers. Like, literally, I think it covered half her head, and she knew it didn't fit, so then she just kind of was like...
tilted it to the side.
Tilted it to the side, and then it came off within the first, 10 seconds.
So at that point, I'm blaming your hat designer, because this is just dumb.
I know. How do you not size it?
Did you think these were for children or something?
I know.
Not one hat fit.
No, they did not.
So before Karen arrives at the party, the women are kind of talking a little bit of shit. And the subject came up about Karen and her DUI. And they asked if anybody had talked to Karen recently. And Jacqueline spoke up and said she had talked to Karen. And then Mia throws out that Karen was drunk on the phone. So clearly Jacqueline and Mia talked about it prior.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jacqueline says, well, she sounded tipsy and a little bit off, but I can't say she was drunk.
Right.
This is so messy.
It is. Already.
Like, this is what we're going to do?
I know. We're going to literally accuse the woman who had the second DUI.
Yeah.
Of that on the phone she was drinking.
So just being
already.
Drunk all the time.
Yes. It's basically like that's your lifestyle.
Yeah. It was uncomfortable.
Do you believe her, though?
I don't think so. Why is she talking to Jacqueline? I didn't know her and Karen were friends.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't know. That was kind of weird.
That wasn't the question.
Yeah, do I believe Jacqueline? I don't know. I think Mia and Karen clearly don't like each other. Jacqueline is 100% Team Mia. So did it happen? I don't know. Do you think it happened?
I tend to go the opposite way, of you, and I think it probably did.
No.
But I don't know. We'll see, maybe. If it gets talked about again. It might not.
Right.
But...
So then Karen arrives, and Giselle says that the women had asked about her meeting with Karen, and she didn't want to speak for Karen. So Karen's like, okay, cool. Ask me anything. I'll answer any questions. And I want to know who's being supportive of me, and I want to know which bitches aren't.
Well, I love how she's like, basically ask me anything, and then it's, well, I can't say anything. I can't talk about that.
Well, Jacqueline then kind of has the nerve to say something about not judging Karen when 20 minutes earlier she was completely judging Karen.
Know. Oh, you want to know what, though? Maybe she, the fact that she has no recollection of doing that, maybe now I'm starting to think Karen
maybe the phone call was bullshit.
Did the phone call happen? Do we even know?
I mean, go ahead and judge her, but just be honest and then don't kiss her ass after, you know?
I know. I don't get it either. Like, they were all there, too, and they're all kind of looking at her like...
Oh, Wendy gave her the side eye, like, oh, girl, we all heard you, please. Yeah, that was funny. So the conversation switches over to Mia and her separation from Gordon and her kids. And Karen makes a comment about Mia not protecting her kids from the paternity rumors. And Giselle actually co-signed it. She actually agreed with Karen.
I think this is the first time that they've agreed on something in, like, how many seasons?
Maybe because Robin's not there?
Yeah, I know, because we cut her out, and now they can finally,
be buddies.
Right, frenemies.
Yeah. So that I thought was super interesting. So the episode ends with Mia getting upset, getting up, and going into the bathroom to cry. And she's upset because she said she's been protecting her kids. She, this is bullshit. Don't say that. I don't know.
I mean, Mia seems like the type of person that it's like she talks in the moment and then regrets it later. Like, I think that that's actually where the crying is coming from.
Yeah.
Because you did. I mean, you did put it out there. They talked about it at the reunion.
Yeah.
So it's like you bring these things up and then you're surprised when people say stuff about it.
Yeah.
And it is a hard subject to talk about. It is. But then why are we even discussing it in the first place? I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't like this either. It's kind of icky. I hope she doesn't regret bringing all of this up because once it's out there, it's out there. So...
Yeah, I hope it's just not a long season thing. I'd like it to be, this little bit, maybe in the beginning couple episodes, and then other stuff starts happening.
Right. So what were your overall thoughts of the premiere? How did you feel like it went?
I thought it was decent overall. I wouldn't say it's the best premiere I've ever seen, but it was definitely not the worst. I thought it was a little bit... There were a little bit of filler parts for me, but I thought that the table scene at the very end was pretty good and will lead us into something for next week.
Yeah, I agree. It was a good premiere. There's lots of places to go with it, and I did like Stacy.
Yeah, I would be interested to hear more about her. We only saw kind of the QVC part.
Yeah. So, I'm looking forward to a strong season. Hopefully they bounce back. Thanks for listening to episode 21 of Nice-ish. You can follow us on Instagram or Twitter at Nice-ish Podcast or Love Cindy C. You can listen to Nice-ish wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube. Look for new episodes every Monday. Thank you for listening and have a nice-ish day.